Argentinians are
Yep.
Italians who live in French houses who speak Spanish with chicken bones on the floor when I get on the bus. This book is excellent for everyone at all levels.
Had in London.
Okay, so well, that's easy. Hi, my name is Nana, and I'm a lawyer and content creator, and we are playing What's in My Bag with AJOSEPO. So to start, this bag, big story behind this bag, but this is basically my travel bag. So I have literally just got off a flight from Alicante, and I use this bag for traveling all the time because it holds everything. So it wasn't a hard decision to buy this bag. As you can see, big logo, very unlike me, YSL, the softest leather, but it's so roomy, and you're going to see why. So to start with, inside my bag, I always seem to have a scarf or two with me. They are so convenient because I get cold, and sometimes it's just nice to have a pop of color with your outfit. This one is by a Spanish brand called Natura, and I just love the color. I always seem to pick up a scarf in the airport before I leave the country. So that's my essential. Inside this bag, another sort of travel find. I got this little bag by the White Company when I got upgraded coming from Accra 2 weeks ago. And inside here are just all the little essentials. So, you know, without going into too much detail, sanitizer, sanitary pads, these calm patches, which I find for when I get stressed, a lip balm by Augustina Spader. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. So all those little essentials go in here. I just zip this up. And then, of course, the important things. So we have got a passport. We've got my wallet. This is a wallet I really love. It is about 12 years old by Anya Hindmarsh, and this speaks to the power of buying good quality because this has lasted. All I did was get the zip fixed a couple of years ago, and it has stood the test of time. And then in here we also have, oh wow, yeah, I am never without these. These are my earbuds. Now I know that the earphones on strings are now the thing. Now, I always was someone with earphones on a string, but my boyfriend was like, get with the program. And he was actually gifted these through work. And these are the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, which look like this. They are fantastic, definitely worth the money. Important for me when I'm on the phone, when I'm editing content, all sorts of things, even when I'm working out. And he so sweetly got me this red case so that I can find it in my handbag. And then we also have a notebook. So I always keep a notebook with me. This I use typically for planning content. So what am I going to post on each day? And I try to be organized about this so that I'm not stressed about what I'm going to talk about. I also like writing lists for personal things. So what I need to do that day, what I need to buy, anything like that. So I'm always being given notebooks. I got this one from the Black Council Forum. So always useful to have. And then we have in here another book that I'm reading at the moment. This book I would highly recommend. It's called Your Money Life. It's by Bolasol. Everything from saving to investing, everything in here, how to have a budget, all of these types of things. Money mindset, also very, very important to talk about. This book is excellent for everyone at all levels. I would highly recommend it. And then a few other strange things you might find in my handbag. I'm a 46-year-old woman. I tend to get hot very easily. So I'm always carrying a fan with me. I think I got this one from Black on the Square. And then the other essentials, what else do we have in here? We have something very boring, an umbrella, because UK weather. Put that there. We have a comb, nice and red, again, so I can find it. We also have a pair of sunglasses. I'll show you these sunglasses. So I like this brand so much. They are called Parfois. I think they're a Spanish brand, and they make such great accessories. I picked these up in the airport for about, I don't know, £18, €17. So I always carry sunglasses and an umbrella with me because UK weather. And then I guess last but not least, of all the things of interest are my makeup bags, which frankly I would never be anywhere without. Now, this is going to sound very over the top, but I actually carry 2 makeup bags. Now, the first is just all the little pesky things like the brushes and all those things, because I'm always that woman who is making up on the train or making up on the move or making up when I get to work because I like my sleep. And then this one actually just carries my face powder by Hourglass. And I got this little bag. And just to keep it separate, I just always slot it in here with the powder puff. So just if I need to do retouches and no other makeup, I just take this with me. And yeah, and then I think the last thing that I have is, let's keep that there. The last thing that I have is this makeup setting spray. So this was actually gifted to me, but actually I've used it quite a lot, and it's by Urban Decay, and apparently it's an OG. I've never used makeup setting sprays until I use this, but I would highly recommend this if you want to look to invest in it. And for someone with oily skin, I would say invest in one. And I think, the last thing, the last but not least, this is probably like the unexpected thing and the wild card that people always laugh at me about, but, you know, that's why my handbag is so nice, is the dust cover. People always laugh at me for keeping the dust cover with my bag, but when it's raining, or if I'm getting on a plane and I'm squeezing my bag under the plane seat, I always wrap it in this dust cover so that my bag does not get scratched or that my bag does not have water stains. So the reason my bag is still in such great condition is because I look after it. And that are the contents of my bag.
Nice. Nana, can you tell us your name, what you do, and where you're based?
Okay. My name's Nana Prempeh. I'm a lawyer and a content creator, and I'm based between London and Spain.
Wow, that sounds intense. What do you love most about what you do, the work that you do?
As a lawyer or as a content creator?
Both, actually.
Okay. As a lawyer, I really enjoy getting to use my brain.
Okay.
So being analytical, finding solutions. I enjoy writing a lot.
Okay.
And then I think there's the people element of it as well, the relationships that you develop with people over years and years and years.
Nice.
And you become a trusted advisor, which sounds very sort of CB. But when you look back on it over the years and when you complete a big deal, it can be very rewarding.
Okay.
So yeah, as a lawyer, that's what I really enjoy. As a content creator, I'm using a completely different side of my brain. So I'm getting to be much more creative.
Nice.
I've discovered how much I enjoy writing, actually. And I think that's probably what pushed me into starting creating content rather than the aesthetic side. But I did art at A-levels, so I've always been quite creative.
Okay.
And so this has been an opportunity for me to exercise my creative side. And when you say creativity, it is completely up to you as to how you write it, deliver it, present it, the colors you use, everything. And so that with all the freedom that comes with that,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that sounds really great. And with the sort of content creation side,
Yes.
is that just, Instagram, TikTok, or is that Substack as well? Because you said you obviously write.
Yeah, so I have actually been encouraged by several people now to start a Substack.
Yeah, you should.
Like the fifth person who said this to me, and I've started thinking about it a lot more seriously. I think the issue for me is always time. But a friend of mine who's also a writer said, even if it's just once a month, Nana, so perhaps that may be coming. Okay. But on a day-to-day basis, it's Instagram. I don't have the bandwidth to post on multiple platforms. Okay. So I've just picked one that I like, and Instagram works for me.
Lovely. I love your feed.
Thank you.
What's the first thing you did this morning?
I checked my phone.
Oh. I love that. And what's one word to describe how you feel today?
Grateful.
And how would you describe your style?
I would say it says, yes, she means business.
Okay, nice. I love that. Nice and sweet. And it really does. And what does your style say before you even speak? I think you've answered this already. You mean business.
Yes, I mean, I think, yes, she means business. But in terms of describing my style, if you want more detail, I would say it's playful,
Okay.
it's fun,
Yeah.
it's feminine.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. And what role does jewelry play in your life, and how does it make you feel?
Now, this is quite an interesting one because I come from a long line of women who absolutely love jewelry.
Okay.
My grandmother has so many pieces that she gradually sort of gives away to us. She's 97 now. My mother absolutely loves jewelry and, has got stacks of it wherever she lives. I have had quite a checkered relationship in the past.
Okay.
So I either lose it or I break it. Now, over the past couple of years, as my style has evolved, I've actually started to see, and also through the education of my best friend who'll be watching, I've started to develop a lot more of a considered approach towards jewelry.
Okay.
And started to appreciate the role it plays in styling.
Yeah.
How it makes you feel, and also the emotional side to it. Pieces that have been given to me by relatives I've got in my handbag already, things that make me feel good. I love the fact that jewelry can incorporate colour. So there are so many layers to it. So I've got a newfound appreciation, and I feel that in this part of my life, I'm growing up when it comes to jewelry.
Nice. I love your responses. Okay. London in 3 words.
Noisy, chaotic, fun.
And if London were a scent, what would it be?
Expensive.
Love the smell of that. Where are you local to, and why does it feel like home?
I live in the borough of Greenwich. I grew up there, always lived there, apart from stints in the US and now this sort of dual life. And the area that feels most like home is where my flat is, with my lovely tenants now in Blackheath. And I lived there for 14 years before moving out 2 years ago. Where now it just didn't make sense to be living in the flat full time and paying 2 lots of mortgage.
Expensive.
Especially in London. So yeah, Blackheath feels like home, and in so many ways it's where I bought my first property, which was quite an effort, particularly as a single person on 40k at the time. I was going through a breakup when I bought that flat. He said I would never buy it, and I proved him wrong. 6 months later, I was sitting in my flat eating dinner.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So, and then, for me as a woman, obviously it's an asset.
Yeah, of course.
It's a roof over my head. It's security. It represents so many things.
Accomplishment as well.
It's a beautiful flat as well, aesthetically. It has high ceilings, huge bay windows, a massive bay window at the back. I spent a lot of time and money renovating it a couple of years ago. So it's something that I've put my heart and soul into over many, many years. And when I first bought the property, I didn't have the money to do all those things, I mean, it had pink carpets and pink walls. And, I did things very, very gradually because I just did not have the resources. In fact...
Did you do it yourself? The renovations?
No, not myself. I paid someone to do it. I have a very good builder who is very meticulous, but who involves me in a lot of the decision. And in terms of all the sort of interior decisions, I make those myself.
Okay, lovely.
But yeah, no, I think a good builder who works hard and is trustworthy. I know they're hard to find.
Incredibly hard to find.
But essential.
And what's the one thing you could happily do without in London?
Oh, what could I do without? Chicken bones on the floor when I get on the bus.
What? Sorry.
That is the first thing. Dirty public transport is one thing.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, dirty public transport is something I could definitely live without. I think they could definitely spend more time cleaning their buses and their trains and their tubes. They are filthy.
I completely agree.
And I feel the same when I get on a plane. I mean, when I get on a plane and the plane is dirty, I really cannot. And the same plane, the planes I get on have been going London,
Yeah,
Alicante,
back and
London,
forth.
since
Yeah.
all
Yep.
day.
Yep.
So if you get on the last plane of the day, they don't clean the
No, they
planes in
don't.
between.
Don't even go to the loo. Like, just
Oh, don't.
don't even venture.
So my tip is, if you want a clean plane or a clean bus, get on the first one of the day.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I love that tip. And actually, if this chapter of your life in London had a title, what would it be called?
Renaissance.
I love that. And okay, north, south, east, west, or central, what part has your heart and why?
I want to say central, but I would say south,
Okay.
because that's where I'm
Wait,
from.
of course.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
I was born in North London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was born in
Okay.
Hampstead,
Oh,
but
nice.
I've never had the privilege of living there. And I always ask my parents why, and they said, "Well, it was a good hospital. The Royal Free is excellent." So
Yeah.
I was born in Hampstead.
Okay.
Maybe one day I'll live there,
Yeah.
but not now.
It's really
It's
beautiful there.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what is a part of London you avoid and why?
I'm sorry to say it, but Peckham now.
Oh!
But this is for very personal reasons, in that I was attacked there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I was attacked there about a year or two ago in broad daylight with a friend at the bus stop. And so, it could have been anywhere in London, of course. I think
sorry to
this is
hear.
okay. The guy was crazy, but this is care in the community that the government like to do. And so you have crazy people walking the streets. And so, so sort of that road that goes through Peckham onto Camberwell, I can't remember the name, but I was at the bus stop there, spat in my face.
Oh,
And so I don't think I'll be going back to Peckham for a while.
I don't blame you.
I haven't been back to Peckham since.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Sooner or later I'll end up there, but
No, I didn't.
it's not top of my choice.
No, I don't blame you at all. It's so funny because the last time I went to Peckham, I actually told Miro this, that for the last few visits or so, I've noticed that Peckham has gone back to the way it used to be many years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I literally went there, I think, like, what was it, a month ago? And I was just like, man, I'm not so sure. My love for this place is beginning to dissipate just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's just because you can feel that people aren't being looked after.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, what it is, like most of the UK, is that, the most vulnerable parts of society always pay the price first. And don't get me on my whole political rant, and I'm not very into politics myself, but, I don't mind paying higher taxes, but I do like to see where my money is going. And I don't think the governments of this country, the past one and even the current one, are really making much difference to the most vulnerable people who need it.
No, not at all.
So,
Not at all. I think that is the one thing I wish could change in London, definitely.
and homelessness is another one.
Oh, massive issue.
That's another one that really worries me a lot. If you walk down Oxford Street at 8 o'clock in the evening, where Debenhams used to be, just like those sleeping bags lined up. You don't know if the person is dead or alive. And as the weather gets colder,
I know.
this is the worst. I mean, it's never good to be on the streets, but I'm sure so many people die at this time of year because they've got nowhere warm to sleep.
I know. I completely agree. It's really, really awful.
It's awful.
Okay, to switch it up a little bit, where is your go-to coffee spot in London?
In London, where is my go-to coffee spot? Can I stay at home?
That counts as a self-nomination.
Okay. No. All right then. So the thing is, my go-to coffee spot, the last time I went there, I was extremely disappointed.
Oh.
So they may not be a go-to. So I'll tell you about a coffee that I had
Okay.
that I liked. The last coffee that I had and liked was at Hagen.
Oh, Okay.
on Marylebone High Street.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. They have
Okay.
it's a very small shop,
Yeah.
very pretty and aesthetic. It's a nice place to sit.
Yeah.
But the coffee was also good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The coffee was also good.
Yeah.
I had exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
I said I want a cortado. A lot of people are still baffled when I ask for that.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people. What's a cortado? Or, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So they got it. They made
Okay.
it. It was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, their coffee is really good.
yeah.
And worst coffee you've had in London?
Okay. So well, that's easy. I didn't realise I was a coffee snob. I did not realise I was a coffee snob, but I blame my partner now. But two places, Pret. I never buy coffee from Pret. I think their coffee is terrible. The second place, I'm very sorry to say it because I always thought they made good coffee, so maybe I chose badly. I had an oat milk flat white at Costa a week or two ago, and it tasted like water. I was so disappointed because I've always thought they made good coffee, and I would defend them over Nero and all these other places. But it was terrible. It was absolutely awful. So
Oh, bless. You know, it's so funny. My partner and I, he likes Costa. Well, he goes to Costa, and I'm just like, you would never catch me there. No way.
where do you like to go?
I like All Press.
Oh, I've
In
never heard of
Shoreditch,
them.
they do really great coffee.
Okay.
And their beans are like sold in like other coffee shops and stuff.
Okay.
And like you can tell instantly. Worst coffee, I would say, echo you, say Pret, or what's the one? Grind.
Oh, really? I've never tried them.
The coffee is so weak. It really is.
Oh,
You have to ask for an extra shot.
Oh,
I
wow.
believe that if you have to ask for an extra shot anywhere, it's not worth your money.
No, I agree with you. I think it's a bit of a gimmick.
Precisely. It's like, why would I spend more just to have a decent cup of coffee to grind?
Yeah. I think one of the most expensive places that I resent buying coffee, so I don't do it too often, is Black Sheep. I mean, there's one next to my office, and it's like a $5 for a coffee.
Yeah, I know. But their coffee is so good.
The coffee is good. I'm not going to lie. The coffee is good.
It's good.
But I just, and so I don't go out and buy coffee very much. There's another place that I think is good, but it used to be near my old office called Coco de Maman.
Oh, yeah.
They
do pasta as well.
It's a small chain.
Yeah.
They do good coffee, and boy, did we keep them in business because they were across the road from our office. The office has moved now, but they were across. It was full of everyone from where I worked. I mean, it was like our extra meeting. So they made great coffee as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And the best bakery in London?
I'm going to be controversial here.
Okay.
But I actually really like Marks and Spencer's bakery.
I love them too.
I really like their bakery. Marks and Spencer, if you're watching this,
yes,
please send me something.
I really like their food.
Their food is really good. Eddie calls it Marks and Expensive from when he used to live in London. But their bakery is really good. And I think if I have a choice of where to go and get baked goods, I go there if I can be bothered to walk.
Yeah.
I tend to choose. I would choose them over, if I can be bothered to walk. I tend to choose them over the fancy schmancy bakery. They do a really good soda bread.
Okay.
And I love Irish soda bread.
Nice.
So I go there and get it. If you go in the morning, you'll get it.
Yeah.
I also like Gales sometimes, which I know is controversial for some because they're so expensive. Not for the bread, but they do a really lovely cinnamon crumble cake thing, which I really like.
Okay.
The sausage rolls are very good.
Yeah.
And also because I'm partial to a sausage roll, I can't not say Greg's.
So you mentioned three.
I mentioned three.
Gills and
Greg's.
If you had to choose just one between those three.
M&S every time.
M&S, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And the most overrated bakery?
I think it's probably Olenstein.
I think you're breaking hearts everywhere.
I think the Danes will be up in arms. But I think I've had something from there and it was nothing special, if I could be honest.
Okay. Favorite restaurant in London and why does it stand out?
There are so many good ones.
Okay.
I'll talk about one that I really liked
Okay.
recently. The one that I really liked recently and want to revisit
Okay.
to get a really good chance is Mr. Porter.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know it.
No, I don't.
So
I was going
Mr.
to.
Porter is a new restaurant. I think they have one in Amsterdam, and it has opened in the basement of the Hilton Hotel on
Okay.
Park Lane.
Okay.
And it is absolutely beautiful. Very chic, elegant, glamorous inside.
Okay.
Huge bar, really well lit. For me, it's the interiors and the aesthetic. It's very slick and extremely well done. If you're going on a date or someone is trying to impress you or your boss is paying, go there.
Okay. What sort of food do they do?
It's mostly it's designed for. I mean, the narrative or the protagonist of who Mr. Porter is probably a bit of a playboy.
Okay.
So he is probably someone who earns or has a lot of money, wears great clothes and shops at Mr. Porter.
Oh, okay.
And, probably books all his vacations through Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
get my kind of guy.
Yeah, I get you.
So very sort of aspirational
Yeah.
kind of lifestyle. And the food is mostly dude food.
Okay.
So steaks,
Oh, okay.
meats,
Okay,
of
got
those
it.
kind of things.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's a very, very, very elevated steakhouse.
Okay, nice. And a restaurant you wouldn't recommend at all to anybody?
So many. But I think the one that I can't forget is Meraki in Fitzrovia,
Okay.
where we sat down at 6:30 and by 8 o'clock they told us to leave. The food was so expensive and it was so not overrated. And I think it's hard to get Greek. I think it's Greek. It's hard not to get Greek food wrong, I think. There's another one called Faro's in Oxford Circus, which, we sat down at 6:30. By 5 to 8, they wanted the table back. They didn't even have time to serve us dessert.
Oh God.
And awful. And, the food was okay, but it wasn't amazing. And, I mean, it was sort of normalish prices, but I just didn't think it was worth the money.
Yeah. Like honestly, I think restaurants really need to work on that, chasing clients and guests out,
Yeah.
before dessert time because you're
Yeah.
reaching the hour, 30 minutes window.
Yeah. It's just
Just
not
silly.
You're almost better off booking a table at 8:30 or 9 p.m. and then
Because then they have to close.
they have to close.
Yeah.
But the truth is that not everybody wants to eat that late.
Precisely.
So
Okay. Your go-to bar in London for good vibes and really strong, great drinks.
one place that I really like is, and I've had events there,
Okay.
is the Compagnie de Vin Naturel, which is on Neal's Yard in Covent Garden.
Okay.
It's part of the experimental group.
Okay.
I've been going there for many years and they do really great wine. Not so much for cocktails. If you want a really, really good wine, I would highly recommend there.
Okay.
Very intimate, very hard to find, a bit off the beaten track.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Okay. Lovely. And okay, this is a very hot take. What is your opinion on service charge and tipping culture in London? Do you love it or do you hate it?
I think I'm somewhat ambivalent. I'm
Okay.
in theory, I'm very supportive of it because staff in the hospitality industry do not earn well, and they work extremely hard, far harder than many of us, in fact. And so I think in theory, the tipping is deserved. It's also interesting that in different countries, tipping means different things. So, whether it's 3%, 10%, it just depends. What I feel very strongly about is leaving a tip when the service has been bad. So if the service has not been great, I will ask, does this include a tip? Because it's discretionary. And if the service has been bad, then either I will leave a very small tip or nothing.
No, that makes a lot of sense. It definitely does. I think for me as well, I echo what you're saying. Like I'm a bit like, whatever. But I think for me, my biggest peeve is going to grab a coffee and you're like, tip service charge. I'm like, for takeout coffee,
Oh,
seriously.
wow. I haven't
Whatever.
seen that.
Yeah, so that's a new thing that
Oh,
people. That's why I
wow.
included it as part of the question.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because I'm just like, this is in New York. People calm down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so that's the latest thing
That's
now.
right.
Takeout coffee and
So-
they're like, service charge tip.
Oh, wow. So this is another reason why I don't like buying
Just like,
coffee
wow.
to take out. So, like even when I go to the office, I don't buy coffee
Yeah.
out. I buy it in the canteen at work because actually their coffee is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the difference between spending £5 at Black Sheep
Yeah.
or £2.50 for the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So I just buy it in house,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
wouldn't dare add it.
It's a service charge and the tip for a takeout coffee.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
we need to like, I don't know. It's getting out of hand
I think
a little
that's
bit.
a little
I
bit
think.
out of hand. Yeah.
So a neighborhood spot you would recommend to a friend?
If they were new to London.
Yeah, if they were new to London, or like for instance, I don't particularly travel or venture to Greenwich, so perhaps you might recommend somewhere,
Yeah, I would.
or somewhere in Blackheath.
Yes. Okay. That's easy.
Okay.
There is a really good steak place. You can tell I like meat.
Yeah.
And it's called, I've forgotten the name of it. It's basically an Argentinian steak restaurant
In Greenwich.
in Blackheath.
Blackheath.
There is also a sister in Blackheath. And they make really good Argentinian steaks, actually. The starters are also very good. So I would recommend that place.
Buenos Aires Cafe.
That's it. Buenos Aires Cafe. And they have a very good statement on their placemats. They say Argentinians are Italians who live in French houses who speak Spanish but think they are French.
I can actually see that. That is so crazy. I can see that.
So it's Argentinians are
Yep.
Italians who live in French houses who speak Spanish who think they are French.
Oh my God, how did I never see that before? It's so true. It really is. It definitely is with the, Argentinian people that I know.
Yeah.
They definitely act that way. I love that though.
Yeah. So, that's a very good restaurant.
Okay, cool.
And actually, whenever we want to eat, particularly when we were all here in one country, whenever we would want to do something special, that was always the first place I'd recommend.
You go.
Yeah.
Lovely. And your favorite park to escape the noise in London?
Greenwich Park.
It's so beautiful there.
Yeah.
It really is. Gallery or museum you would always return to?
I would say the National Portrait Gallery.
Oh, nice.
They've always got interesting exhibitions. Always.
And the best bookstore in London?
Oh, it would have to be Daunt Books on Marylebone High Street.
I'm yet to go to venture in.
Really?
I swear. Like, honestly, I don't know. I order all my books on Amazon, or I go to Tashin in Chelsea, or I buy internationally, or there's a bookstore but next to Fortnum and Mason that I go to.
Foyles. No, it's not Foyles.
Hatchards.
That's it. On
That's it.
Piccadilly.
Precisely. But I
Yeah.
haven't. I'm yet to go to Daunt.
So
Maybe this is a reminder to go.
So for me, a lot of it sounds so cheesy, all these places in Marylebone that I recommend.
Yeah.
And Marylebone features a lot in my stories because
Yeah.
I work in Marylebone. So if I'm walking to the station, or if I want to walk to, I'm on my way somewhere, typically I walk down Marylebone High Street. So on the rare occasions when I buy a book, then that is one of the places where I will go. However, the book I'm reading now, I bought on Amazon. So.
And what is a cultural moment that's recently moved you? So it can be an exhibition, a play, a concert that you've experienced in London.
Oh, yeah. So a few months ago, I went to see a really great play, which was African written and produced, and it's called Pigeon English.
Oh, nice.
And it was really great. I can't tell you who wrote it. Does
I
it
think
sound
I've
familiar?
heard of this. Yeah.
It was showing in East London.
Yeah, I definitely seen this.
Excellent. Excellent production.
Okay.
Yeah. If they bring it back, I would highly recommend
Yeah.
seeing it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think it might have been your story, maybe. I
Yeah, it
think
was
so,
in my
definitely. Was
stories.
it your
Yeah,
story?
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why it resonates.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would definitely keep an eye out if they bring it back. Which London-based creative or artist is inspiring you right now? I know
I'm
with
not
my
that
tricky
arty.
questions.
Yeah, I'm not that arty, so it's very hard for me to say.
It can be music as well. It can be like just anything creative, I guess.
I mean, I follow a lot of content creators.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah.
the person who I would talk about is a young woman called
Okay.
Katia Aklema.
Okay.
She is a London-based content creator.
Okay.
I think she's originally from Eastern Europe.
Okay.
She is new to London. She
Okay.
says she's been here for a few years now.
Okay.
And I would say her work inspires me a lot. Her work certainly inspires my outfits.
Okay.
So she focuses a lot on pattern and color. And, it's not hard to see why she's so successful, is because even what she produces, the standard of work that she produces is pretty much like editorial. And so it's not hard to see why brands like H&M or huge fashion show houses would want to work with her. There is another person as well, actually. Her name is Sashini Delinka.
Oh, you mentioned that
Yeah.
earlier, right?
Yeah, Sashini Delinka is another one who is London-based.
Okay.
I've even worked with her husband recently. And again, the standard of her work is extremely high. And they for sure inspire my work, I mean, Katia, the way she poses and that she moves, her work is very dynamic, but there's also a fluidity to it as well.
Okay.
And then with Sashini, there's just a very sort of high-level gloss, high-octane polish that I really like in her images. And, for all that Instagram tells you to be authentic, yes, but we are all still posting photos at the end of the day. It's still very much a visual app.
Precisely.
And so the visual standard I've discovered over the years is extremely high. And so when I look at people like this, they remind me and they inspire me to up my game, and I want to be like them. These are women who are probably younger than me,
Yeah.
but they inspire me and they push me to do better. I know how tremendously hard they work at it as well.
Nice. And tube, bus, bike, or taxi, what's your preferred way to get around in the city?
The reality is the tube, but taxi for emergencies.
Can relate to that. And your favorite tube line?
It has to be the Jubilee line where I live.
Thank you. So I used to live in West London for so many years. I would say about over 10 years. And we had like the Central or the Circle and District to us, and those lines suck. Like Central is super fast, but it's so dirty, and
Yeah, it's
Circle
not
and
clean.
District is just like ugh. Anyways, tube line you dread.
I would say the Northern Line.
Yes.
It feels like a road to nowhere. And I did go through a period of having to take it a few years ago. But I just, like many of the tubes, it's just not clean.
Yeah.
It can get very crowded.
Yeah.
And when it's not working, like many tube lines, I suppose, particularly the Jubilee also, but when that one's not working, it's catastrophic.
I know. Were you caught in the recent strikes?
I
Or were
was,
you-
yeah. But the thing is, where I live in London, or where I stay, like where I live in London, is that we have been so not reliant on the tube for so many years because, we've lived in the same house for 40 years. So, when I started going to work, and I still do 25 years later, I get the train into central London.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Which
cool.
I really like. I've
Okay.
always liked getting the train.
Okay.
And so I get the train and I take it normally into, one of the main hubs. And then from there, I walk.
Oh, nice. Okay,
So
cool.
what I did was take the train into, say, Charing Cross, and I'd walk.
And you walk to Malabar.
Yeah, I'd
Nice.
walk. So it was like 35 minutes.
Okay, well, that's good.
But yeah, at least I was late every day or whatever. But
No, but that's
but then you've got
yeah.
your steps in,
Yeah, exactly.
and I even bump into people on my way to work.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Have you tried the Elizabeth line?
I have tried the Lizzie line, and I'm a huge fan. I have. I bought a property near it actually.
Oh, really? Okay,
Precisely
cool.
because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great initiative. I
Yep.
think being able to get to Heathrow is going to be a game changer, or is a game changer. I think it's also good for all the neighbouring areas, particularly around South and Southeast London, and Abbeywood, and going out into sort of Kent and that way. Because it means that the properties there will also benefit, and the people living there will benefit, because it creates opportunities for them.
Absolutely, I agree. And it's so quick. It's so
It's
fast.
super fast.
Like, honestly, it halves journeys.
It's
like,
fantastic. Yeah.
it really does. How does London influence your personal style?
I think it's a fantastic place when you're developing your personal style, because we have so much freedom. And I think it's a place really where anything goes. If you look at, people love to hail French girl style. And I get so tired when I see it on an Instagram and in magazines. Get this French girl style. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. This sort of like jeans. And I do wear a lot of jeans and blouses these days, but it's the same uniform look, right? And it's even the same in Italy, where you walk down the streets of Milan and everyone is pretty much wearing the same coat that's in fashion this season, and the same knee-high boots, and everyone is it's almost all sort of identikit. In London, there's a huge sort of fuck you to all of that. Anything goes, and I love that freedom, because I think it actually helps one become more creative.
Agreed.
And, I was looking at someone who I follow's mood board the other day. She shared something. And I said to her, Lois, there's so much freedom in this. And she loved that. And I mean, because it's true, there is not one set look and that's it. And as much as, the fashion world might talk about trends and all of those sorts of things, there are very honest and open conversations like the one I've had with you today, that, trends come and go, but your style is eternal, and the older I get, the more comfortable I get in my skin. And I know what works for me, and I know what does not work for me. I still make mistakes from time to time, but I think that freedom of being in an environment that allows me to play around and experiment and pivot is vital.
I completely and utterly agree. Like, at the end of the day, I think that's what I love about like London fashion.
Yeah.
It's such a rebellious,
Yes.
Outlook.
Yes.
On style.
Yes.
Really, every other city you go to, there is a DNA.
Yes.
Unquestionable DNA that everybody has.
Yeah.
But in London, you can be whomever you want to be.
Yeah.
And what I love is that, the fashion changes. I'm talking fashion, not style now.
Yeah.
Changes from north to east to west to
Yeah.
south.
Yeah. Yeah.
Distinct energy.
Yeah.
Distinct people.
Yeah.
Distinct, POVs.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
It is very fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you say, there is definitely a difference. I think the two can get very confused.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a difference between fashion and style. You can't buy style.
No. No, you cannot. Describe your perfect Sunday in the city when you are in the city.
Okay. Hopefully it will be tomorrow. So I will have a long lie-in and hopefully not feel guilty about it. Then I would go for a long walk in Greenwich Park.
Okay.
And it will be beautiful at this time of year because the leaves are changing. And when I lived there, I would do my lockdown walks. And of course, the parks were full of people. So I would do that. Then I would get my nails done, which is actually what I'm going to do.
Nice.
And then I would come home and have a home-cooked meal, maybe a roast.
Do you like cooking?
I used to cook a lot more when I lived in London, and I was known for it. I would have dinner parties and have friends round to my flat, or even the flats that I flat shared. And so I've got a huge army of cooking books now in Spain that are sitting redundant because I live with a man who likes to cook.
Oh, lovely.
And who cooks for me perhaps about
Nice.
99% of the time.
Oh, love.
Yeah. So, I mean, and in fact, when my mum was living in London until June, she cooked. So actually, I never cooked. And now I'm finding that I'm going to have to start cooking again. But obviously, it's just me and my brother now in London. So, you know, and we have very different movements. We move like ships in the night, and he has things he likes to eat, and I have things I like to eat. So occasionally, you might like roasted chicken if he wants it, you know. But yeah, I would have a home cooked meal, and then I would make all my phone calls to my family. So now what I have to think about is, okay, so who do I call first? Because Ghana is an hour behind. Spain is an hour ahead. So Edu always gets a look in first because he goes to bed earlier and is an hour ahead. So I call them first. And then I call my parents who are an hour behind London.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much my ideal Sunday.
That sounds dreamy. Thank you so much, Nana.
You're
That is the end of that. Last question. Coffee or tea, and how do you take it?
Coffee, most definitely.
Okay.
And we have a coffee machine.
Okay.
Actually, I have one in London now and one in Spain. And it's not very sophisticated. It's an Nescafe Dolce Gusto machine. And I take it with 1 sugar, a cafe au lait intenso.
Oh, nice. And what's living on your nightstand right now in London and in Spain?
Yeah, pretty much the same things, actually. Pillow spray.
Okay.
Pulse points dab to help me relax. Both those things help me relax at night. Castor oil and some tape because I've started oil pulling.
Okay. Sorry, what is that?
Oil pulling is to help maintain bloating.
Oh, okay.
So by pouring some drops of oil into your belly button and then putting tape on top. And I found that very helpful because I tend to get very bloated these days.
Okay.
I tend to find that helps with managing all the air and the gas in my stomach. And when I wake up in the morning, my stomach is much flatter.
Okay. That's
So
good
I
to
try
know.
to do that. And oh gosh, the most important thing, earplugs. Oh, and an eye mask.
Oh, yes.
Quite a lot of stuff on my nightstand.
No, I love that. Heels or flats?
Sorry?
Heels or flats?
Oh, it really depends. I would say heels.
Okay. And 5 wardrobe staples you'll never sort of give away.
5. Wow. Oh, gosh, that's quite hard with my wardrobe.
Only just 5.
Okay. All right. I would say the first one that springs to mind is my new Veronica Beard paisley jacket.
Okay.
I absolutely love it. These boots that I'm wearing by Stowd. Can I include accessories?
Of course.
Okay. Then this bag, which we're going to talk about later.
Okay.
Oh gosh, yeah, my coat, my brown winter coat
Okay.
by Toe, which is super warm. I'm not giving that to anybody. And then last but not least, it would have to be, I'm going to dig them out soon, my Twisted Seam jeans by Totem.
Nice. And the fashion or beauty product you swear by?
Okay, so in terms of beauty products, I would say I'm going to be generic so I don't offend anybody. But I think the one thing that I do swear by is a very good vitamin C.
Okay, I'll let you have that. And your signature smell. So what's your favorite perfume? Or actually smell, generally?
Okay, I really love rose scents, actually. I'm a bit of an old school girly. There are quite a few that I like. Probably one of my favorites is by Rado.
Okay.
Rose of No Man's Land.
Nice. And who is your ultimate style icon?
Ooh, there are so many. Very, very hard to pick down. But she will know this as well as I do. Lisa Ina Marinelli is a corporate lawyer and influencer.
Okay.
And she has shaped so many of my wardrobe choices and styling choices over the past, I would say 4 or 5 years now.
Oh, nice.
So Lisa, if you're watching.
Oh, okay. I would definitely have to check her out.
Yeah.
And a trend you secretly love but won't post about it?
Oh, I didn't see that question. I think on the right people, barn jackets. I won't post about it because I think it's been overdone. And I don't even know if I will invest in one. I think I've probably maybe posted about one, but I don't really, it's not something I revel in. I think, they've always been around.
Yeah,
They've become a
definitely.
massive trend, I think a little
Agreed.
too trendy in my opinion. And you can get them in differing waves of quality, quite probably. But because it's just so overdone, it's unlikely that you'll catch me talking about many of them. I may have posted one or two odd ones, but not really something that I would say. I'm not really into talking about trends generally.
I love that.
I think it's more important to find your own personal style.
I love that.
If there's a trend that's going around, like this thing with lace skirts at the bottom, I've been thinking about one in Zara for a while now. But, maybe if there's something that suits me, then fine. But I don't go out and look at what's trending and then make the decision. I generally pick out what I like and that I know will work for me.
Okay. Lovely. And what is your go-to guilty pleasure?
I have many, but I would definitely say that sleeping as much as possible.
Okay.
Is definite. And I do actually feel guilty when I sleep a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I do tend to feel very...
That's my partner.
Yeah. I tend to feel very guilty, apart from when I'm in Spain, actually.
Okay.
Because I think in London, I feel that I should always be doing something. But in Spain, because my mindset is much more relaxed and I feel like I'm in my haven, then I feel I actually deserve it. But definitely in London, if I have a day in bed doing nothing, I definitely feel bad about that.
Yeah. It's so crazy though, how like a situational like position can like affect your brain where you feel like, oh, I feel relaxed, or no, actually I should be doing something.
Yeah. And I shouldn't feel guilty for resting.
No, not at all.
Rest should not be earned. I deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm not going to lie. I feel guilty when I sleep a lot in London.
No, but I think it's just the way we even sort of talk about it. It's like, oh, yes, I was in bed till 10. Till 10 is what people say. Literally. They do. They do. And you're like, it's a Sunday. And they're like, so?
Yeah. And I have a partner who is categorically a morning person.
Yeah.
And so he says with pride, I was up at 7 painting the house. I was up at 7 painting the house. What were you doing? Well, I'm just about to work on a deal worth 40 million, but I need my sleep to do that.
Exactly. I love that. Actually, this is a nice segue to the next question. What's your favorite way to switch off after a long day?
Look, I'm going to give a very boring answer.
We love
I wish I could say even Netflix and talk about what everyone's watching, but it really is just scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's how the content creation thing started. I mean, I make content really to relax. I don't do it for a job, really. I do it to relax. And so if I'm not making content, which I often do at night before I go to bed, then I'm scrolling and I'm looking, I look now from two perspectives. As a general consumer who enjoys using Instagram and content.
Yeah.
And then I'm also looking, in one corner of my brain is, okay, let's see what's going on social media right now. Like, what are people talking about? What are the trends?
Yeah.
Even if I don't follow them.
Yeah.
Visuals, where can I get new ideas? All kinds of things,
Absolutely.
But fundamentally, to relax, and probably am scrolling away.
Yeah. I love that. I do that as well. I'm not going to lie. Mine is more TikTok. With the cat videos. I find those so adorable. Like, honestly.
Yeah, my boyfriend likes those as well.
Yeah. What is the emoji you can't stop using?
Heart.
Yeah. I love a good red heart.
Yeah. I think they say so much.
Yeah. What's currently on your screensaver?
Oh, a view from my evening walk in Altea.
Oh, nice. And the last photo you snapped on your phone?
Last photo I snapped on my phone would be of a skincare product.
Oh, okay. Could you share with us?
I can share with you. Posted it in my stories last night.
Okay.
It is a brand called Sesterma, and they make a tranexamic acid serum
Okay.
for hyperpigmentation,
Okay.
which I found very effective.
Okay.
And I only stopped using it because I forgot to track it down.
Okay.
So I was recommending it to everybody.
Oh, okay.
And
Definitely
I found it
needs
in the airport last night.
Oh, nice. I definitely need to check out your story and buy that. And what's one small daily habit that keeps you grounded?
I would say gratitude, actually. I would say
Okay.
practicing gratitude.
Okay, cool.
Not just for the big things, but also for the small things. I actually think it's the little things that matter, and all those little things, one day they will become the big things. So being able to call an Uber easily when I was running late to get here, being able to wake up in a place that is familiar and hopefully safe. The fact that the sun is shining today when I landed in rain and wind last night. All those sorts of things which sound so cheesy, but I would say that I'm a happy person, and I think a lot of that comes from gratitude.
I love that. And what does self-care look like to you? Or for you, actually, in practice?
Okay. I think there are different levels to it.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily involve spending a lot of money. I think one of the most important things for me, particularly when I've been working a lot or traveling a lot, is seeing people who I know and love.
Okay.
I think connection for me is really important.
Okay.
And for me, it could be as simple as having dinner with my best friend. And we have a ritual normally on Friday nights. So I found that incredibly grounding, particularly where I'm coming and going out to countries all the time.
Got it.
And so whenever I'm here,
Yeah.
I will pretty much see her every time.
Oh, nice.
And she's one of the first people I call about that.
Oh, that's so lovely. I love that. And what are you reading, watching, and listening to right now?
Okay, so reading, I'm
Yeah.
reading Your Money Life by
Okay.
Bola Soul.
Okay.
I've been watching Sirens
Okay.
on Netflix and
Yeah.
enjoying that.
Okay.
And then I love podcasts. And I have a habit of evening walks when I'm back in Altea.
Okay.
And we live in a private gated community, but it's massive and it's very mountainous and hilly.
Yeah.
So I get in a good walk or workout. And I love listening to the ladies who launch podcasts.
Oh, nice.
Hosted by Rochelle Coombs.
Rochelle.
I think she's an excellent interviewer.
Yeah.
She's very perceptive. Very great way of making people feel relaxed.
Yeah.
And I just learn so much without necessarily being, an entrepreneur as such. I learn so much when I listen to those podcasts. So thank you, Rochelle.
And what's a guilty pleasure that never fails to lift up your mood? So this is a mood elevator.
A mood elevator.
Yeah.
A guilty pleasure that lifts my mood.
Yep.
I'll just say what first came to mind.
Yes, please.
Netta Porter.
Oh my God, I can relate. I can absolutely relate to that, like, honestly. And I don't even think that's guilty. I'm just like,
I never feel...
swipe.
Yes,
bye.
It's coming to my office.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. And which creative or artist is inspiring you right now? So generally.
There are so many people who do all the time. It's very hard to pinpoint one. But it's Art Month.
Okay.
And one person whose work I really like is an artist called Laquena.
Okay.
And she works with my brother, actually, who is a curator.
Okay.
And she's actually giving a talk on Tuesday at the Apple Store.
Okay.
But I've seen her work and I really like it. I think she produces beautiful stuff. a lot of it related to our heritage.
I was just about to ask. Yeah.
So I'd like to see where she goes. She's come a long way.
Okay.
She's an extremely talented young woman.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, I would say her.
Lovely. And when you meet someone new, what's the first thing you notice about them?
The smile.
I can relate to that one. And what's a word you catch yourself overusing?
I a lot. I've realised. I think, and I think I use that a lot, particularly when I'm at work. I think, and I don't know whether it sounds sure or I'm not sure, but very often I mean it from a place of conviction.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
What I don't like is I guess. I don't use that.
No, I think.
I think particularly as a lawyer, you need to sound pretty sure. And, you know, often when I say to Edu something, I'll say, I think we need to do this. Or I think this is what's happening. He'll say, do you think or you know?
I remember there was a workshop that I attended, and this was when I was trying to make VP, and it was compulsory. And essentially, it was about words that you shouldn't utilize just to present yourself as more executive-like.
Yeah.
And they were like, you need to stop using, like, you need to, like, scrub that entirely and, like, just speak without any, like, And I'm like, what? That's so unnatural.
Yeah.
Like, so just silence. Like, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's hard.
Incredibly.
But you have to train yourself to do it.
Yeah.
Because particularly if you are in roles where you are talking to people a lot, particularly in roles where you are in a traditional profession or where people, whatever you're doing, and people are coming to you for advice and you are seen as quote unquote an authority on something, then you need to sound sure about what you're saying.
Absolutely. I agree.
So my pet peeve, there you go, is when people say like, you know, I think it's an American thing, and they say like what? Just say
Like.
it. You know, just say it. The other thing that I don't like is when people make a statement, but they sound like they're asking a question. And so their intonation raises at the end of the sentence, which I think, again, is a very American thing.
Yeah.
You don't sound as confident and you don't sound as sure about yourself. Just say what you need to say.
Yeah. You know, you actually just touched on what I was going to say, that there is a difference between how you sort of speak and how Americans speak versus how British people speak.
Yes.
I think there's a little bit more, just to be direct, a little bit more freedom with the American way of expressing yourself.
Yes.
Whereas, like, within the British sort of context, it's very much, you need to be very sharp, very clean.
It's very crisp.
Yes, exactly, with your words. So it was just like, oh.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it also depends on the environment you work in.
Agreed.
So, you know, even if you're working in a US investment bank, like I was, the legal department was very British. Mm-hmm. And with that came how you should communicate. And, you know, we were given lots of courses on how to present. I mean, they were invaluable. How to present yourself, how to communicate, how to present properly.
I completely agree.
All these sorts of things that, you know, someone might sniff at, but they are so, so, so important.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all animals. And so people relate to one another based on what they see.
I completely agree.
And what they hear.
I absolutely agree. Even I remember one of the courses was about color. They said the more senior you wanted to be, you had to scrub out a lot of like loud like colors. I was okay already because my favorite color happens to be black. But I just thought, what if it was like red? Like, what am I supposed to do?
I think on that point, I beg to differ on colour. I think you can, in fact, as my confident, well, actually, I've been wearing colour for about I would say since my late 20s to work. At the very beginning, I wore a lot of black because I wasn't sure. But since I think the end of my 20s, particularly in my early to mid 30s, I really started playing around with colour a lot.
Yeah.
And I continue to. And I find people respond well to it. But I know that a lot of it is because of the environment I'm in. And if I was in a very conservative, traditional law firm, it may not go down so well.
Wow.
So it does depend.
Yeah, you have to be adaptive,
Yeah.
I think is just the best
Absolutely.
way.
Absolutely.
So voice notes or texting, what's your go-to?
Oh, definitely texting.
I dislike voice notes so much. I really do.
Honestly, I mean, if you send me a voice note, and particularly if it's a long one, it can stay on my phone for 5 days because I do not like to listen to them.
Yes. What's the last thing that made you laugh out loud?
I can't remember, but probably my boyfriend taking the piss out of me.
I like that. And what's something that instantly makes your life better? That question is tricky.
That is tricky. That is something that instantly makes my life better. I
Yep.
mean, this morning it was Uber because they stopped me from being late. If I'm honest.
Oh, yes. Remember the days of having to flag a taxi?
Oh, God.
And only black cabs in London as well?
If you live in an area where black cabs don't go, then you'd have to call a mini cab.
Exactly.
You
Like,
know,
oh,
and then
those
wait 10
days.
to 15 minutes. And
Yep.
actually, in Altea, where we live, there is no such thing as black cabs. And it's a small town. And if you want a taxi, you have to call for one.
Oh, wow.
You can't hail one in the street.
Oh, wow.
You have to call for one. So you have to stand somewhere or at the taxi rank. If one is not waiting there, then you have to call for one.
Wow.
And if I'm at home and, you know, because I'm not driving in Spain
Yeah.
at the moment,
Yeah.
I have to call for one. And then I have to wait 15 minutes for them
Oh, wow.
to show up. So it's very old school.
How does your London side cope with that, having to wait?
I mean, London side does not cope very well with that. So London side has to prepare in advance. And if I know I have to be somewhere at 11:30, then I will call the cab at around maybe even 5 to 11, because there have been times when the taxi has been late.
Late, yeah.
So it's a whole different ball game over there.
Yeah.
But of course, when you're downtown in any Spanish city, you can hail
Then
a
you
cab.
can, yeah, absolute. And if you could eat one meal every day without getting bored for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh gosh, there'd be so many jollof rice. And plantain.
Ghanaian or Nigerian jollof rice?
I'm Ghanaian, so I'm gonna be. And the jollof rice in Ghana is. I mean, my mum's jollof is amazing,
Yeah.
you know. But I had jollof rice in Ghana a few weeks ago. It doesn't matter who's making it; it's always good. Eating in Ghana is so much fun because everything tastes so good,
Agreed.
so good.
Yeah, absolutely. So one meal for the rest of your life will be jollof rice?
It would be
Ghanaian jollof rice,
yeah.
not Nigerian. I can't slip that in.
I'm so sorry. I've tried both, but the one, you know, I'm sorry, but the Ghana one has stolen my heart slightly. I mean, I don't know, did Nigerians sometimes make that smoky jollof? Because I like that too, actually.
That's really lovely, but you can only get that, I would say, at parties. So when the old women sort of cook.
Yeah.
You know, in like open fire environments,
Yeah.
that's when you get the smoky
one.
like flavor.
Yeah.
But having said that, smoky jollof rice that I had was at a Coco in London.
Yes, that's
they
a
make
very
really
good
great
restaurant.
food. Yeah. But yeah, everything has just been quite mid.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
What is your favorite city to escape to and why?
My favorite city to escape to. The one that I do probably the most often, if I'm honest with you, is Valencia.
Okay.
I love that city. It's probably about an hour and 15 minutes away from where we live.
Yeah.
So although we live by the coast and have, you know, these sea views and everything and the mountains, you know, the city girl in me, when I need noise and smoke and different faces, I go and see my friends in Valencia.
Oh, nice.
It's a great city.
Oh, lovely. I'm yet to visit, so maybe I might do based on that. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, I don't think this question should be asked. You know why? Because you already lived the dream.
It might look like the dream, but when your BA flight is delayed then it's not the dream.
So I am I'm going to sort of ignore that question. If you could instantly master a new language, what would it be?
Spanish, for obvious reasons.
Are you learning that at the moment?
I
or-
start and I stop, and
Okay.
then I start and then I stop.
Yeah.
I'm also quite spoilt in the sense that, I live in an area which is full of expats.
Got it.
So everyone speaks English.
Yeah.
They're all from all over Europe, but English is the common denominator.
Yeah.
But I want to make more Spanish friends.
Okay.
So I need to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I've been told that what you can do is Duolingo per use, and then start sort of having people speak in Spanish.
Yeah.
Because I was learning via Duolingo and then I stopped. But my hair and makeup artist and a few people in my life, they are Spanish, Latin, American, and they speak Spanish a lot.
Yeah.
And whenever they speak, I can sort of understand, I would say about 80% of what they're saying.
Wow.
So I
just
think
through Duolingo.
Yeah. So I think it's about having, and it's just because the South American Spanish is not as harsh as Spanish.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
true.
easier to
It's
understand.
slower. Yeah,
Exactly, it's slower.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe that's the way around it.
Yeah.
Learn a little bit on Duolingo and then have people speak around you and you pick it up organically. I think that's
certain
the best way.
things. I mean, we have the TV on at home in Spanish. I mean, Edu is French and Spanish. He speaks both languages, so he watches.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he speaks 3 languages: English, French,
4 or
Spanish.
5. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he watches TV in French and Spanish.
Oh, wow.
And when he speaks to his uncle, who he's Spanish but grew up in France like his mum. They interchange between French and Spanish in their conversations.
So that's not a polyglot. That's more than, what is that?
He speaks French, he speaks Spanish. He likes to distinguish Catalan. He speaks Italian.
Apparently there's a difference.
Yeah. And he speaks English.
Oh, wow.
So he speaks about 5 languages.
Impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
And he reads in both language. He watches TV. So sometimes if we're watching a TV show, this was funny, with subtitles, for me, who speaks English, I'll be like, oh, I don't like this. And he's like, okay, great, turn off the subtitles.
Oh, wow. I love that. Oh, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
I'm always very impressed by people that can speak, multiple languages because it's just wow. And I wonder whether his personality shifts when he's speaking French versus when he's speaking Spanish.
Oh, yeah. He definitely
English.
sounds more snobbish when he speaks French.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
He definitely sounds
French is a very snobby language.
Sounds definitely. I would say he probably even looks more snobbish as well. And his demeanour is a lot more sort of, he's good looking, he's tall, he's dark, he's handsome. But when he speaks Spanish, he's very warm, very relaxed.
Oh, nice.
Very sort of arms wide open. He even seems more relaxed when he speaks Spanish. And he learned as a child, so his Spanish is like a mother tongue to him.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. I really love that. And what's your star sign? And do you actually buy into the whole astrology landscape?
Oh, I'm a Leo and I'm proud.
Okay.
Yes, I absolutely buy into it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's not true for everybody. And, with billions of people around the world, you can't, fix them all into 12 different categories. But I do definitely think and have seen with my own eyes certain character traits of certain people who fall under certain signs where there is an alignment. And certainly for myself, yes, I would definitely say that in a lot of ways, I am a very typical Leo.
And what is that? What traits does your star sign have?
Regal.
Okay, I can see that. Absolutely. 100% I can see that.
Joking. But we're sun signs, so we like warmth, we like connection.
Okay.
We're very confident.
Okay.
But we also have insecurities. We can be little pussycats. There are lots of things I worry about. People will be surprised that I worry about them.
Yeah.
We thrive on praise. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
We're very, very loyal.
Okay.
But we are also extremely stubborn.
Okay.
We like it our way.
Not to get on your bad side. What's one lesson you've learned recently that's stuck?
I think the one that I'm learning at the moment is to prepare for your retirement.
Okay.
I'm in a period of my life where I'm watching my parents grow older. That is not easy.
I can imagine.
And I would, just through conversations recently with my father, I would definitely say that planning and preparing for your retirement is really important. Now, I'm not even talking about the financial perspective, which is obvious. I'm talking about how are you going to fill your time? What are you going to do? How are you going to keep finding purpose in life? I think that's really important because what I don't want in my 80s is to be in a waiting room to die. And I enjoy my life so much in a way that I never thought I would. And I really don't want that to change. I want my life to become as rich as possible as I get older and to keep enjoying it until the day I go. So I would say that is probably the most poignant thing that I've learnt recently.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what are you currently, what do you have your eyes on at the moment? What would you like to buy? What is on your wish list?
I almost don't want to say, because if I say it, they'll go. They may go, or they may not go, actually, because I don't think my followers are into spending huge, huge amounts of money.
Okay.
A few things on my wish list. But the one thing that I really want at the moment is a pair of boots by Kate.
Oh.
They are the Dallas boots.
Okay.
Kate does not make them anymore.
Oh.
But I have seen a pair somewhere.
Okay.
That are knee-high.
Oh, nice.
Black.
Oh.
Now, this would be my second pair. The reason I want them so much is because I bought a pair exactly a year ago that were ankle length.
Oh, okay.
And they are just so comfortable.
Okay.
That, by the time you get to your mid-40s, comfort is key.
I can absolutely definitely see that.
Those ones I can wear all day. So if I could get the knee-high version, or even another version of the ankle boots, that would be it for me this winter with footwear. But it's the comfort, and so at the moment I'm like, do I spend the money or don't I spend the money? And I'm telling Edu, we're spending too much money. We're spending too much money, but I really want those boots.
Spend it. You only live once. Honestly, I'm the worst person to be around. I always encourage spending. And finally, what's next for you?
In my personal or my professional life?
I would say just generally, what pops into your mind when I sort of ask that? I think that's the truest answer.
I think the thing that's next for me is probably more related to my personal life.
Okay.
And that is perhaps getting myself a little bit more bedded down in my life in Spain.
Okay.
So some administrative stuff that I need to do.
Okay.
And also getting organised with my personal affairs. I think that's really important. And my affairs over the past, I would say, 10 years have become more complex. And now also living in 2 countries as well. And now also having a partner. My personal affairs have become a lot more complex. So I'm realising how much more organised I used to be. I need to be. And I used to work in a private client department as my first job. And these were US citizens who lived in the UK, very rich people who had, dual dual citizenship
Yeah.
and assets in both countries. And we used to do a lot of their tax planning.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really opened my eyes as to how important it is to have your affairs in order.
Mm-hmm.
Not when the doctor tells you to,
Yeah.
but really all
yeah.
the time. And, you know, look, I get on a plane every 2 weeks. And last night the plane was doing this as we were landing to London.
Yeah.
And so, you know, those risks are very real.
Of course.
And so I think, yeah, what's next for me is actually on a personal level is to really make sure that I am taken care of and that my loved ones are taken care of, and to get organized in that part of my life.
Do you see yourself sort of moving to Spain on a full-time basis, like fully transitioning to like Spain?
I would like to get residency,
Okay.
which is why I talk about getting my tax affairs in order and my personal affairs in
Yeah,
order.
of course.
For the time being, no.
No. Okay.
I really enjoy it can be tough on us, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, it also keeps my relationship very fresh.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, I doubt I will probably move to Spain full time. Never say never, but until I retire.
Okay.
But I guess even if I didn't retire, then I would probably work for myself. Then I would work from Spain full time.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
But as it currently stands, I work in London.
Okay.
I'm based in London for work. And the other thing is, you know, quite sadly, is that the best opportunities are in London.
Yes.
And, you know, like I say, I've worked so hard for this.
Of course.
That I never really wanted to give up everything that I'd worked for.
Yeah.
So I think that living in Spain full time will eventually happen. Maybe it will happen in 5 years. I mean, you never really know what's around the corner.
You never know.
But I don't see it happening in the immediate future for myself.
Okay.
However, if our circumstances changed, then of course.
Okay. Lovely. And that is the end of that round. What first drew you to law, and has your why changed over time?
Yeah, it has changed over time. So in terms of being drawn to law, I'll be honest. I mean, at 17, 18, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I mean, 16 actually, when you're applying for universities. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that I didn't like sciences and I didn't like maths. I liked reading and I liked writing. And that was pretty much it for me. I enjoyed history.
Okay.
And so, you know, African parents were like, she must do law.
Yes.
And so we started looking at law courses at universities, you know, across and outside London.
Okay.
But I think over time, once I started the course, I actually discovered how much I enjoyed it.
Okay.
And I enjoy the reading, I enjoy the writing, and I enjoy the analysis part of that.
Got it.
And I think throughout my career, that has always been the case.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
And then in terms of how it's evolved over time, I think the more I've worked over the past 25 years, the more qualities I've seen have evolved within myself and what's actually needed to do a really good job as a lawyer.
Okay.
You need to be good with people.
Okay.
You need to be very good at managing client relationships.
Okay.
You need to be very commercially minded to be an effective lawyer. Of course, your mind must be in the detail, but you've also got to be able to see the bigger picture. And so the experiences I've had, I would say actually over the past 10 to 15 years have really illustrated that to me. And I feel like I'm learning all the time. So it never grows old.
I love that. I love what you just said there about like learning over time, because I think that that's the one quality I've seen, you know, across people whose career has been so illustrious, is like you never stop learning.
No,
you
never do. And I think you need to appreciate that you never stop learning. You never know it all. And let it be said, I mean, this is quite a competitive profession, like so many others.
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone who is quote unquote better than you, or who's going to be trying to be better than you. And so it keeps you on your toes, I'll be honest with you, you know. But, you know, the perfectionist in me also likes to try and get things right and to try and do a good job. And I will always do everything to the best of my ability. And I've always got that sort of, I got it wrong when, you know, there's a small detail wrong. But you live and you learn from your experiences. And like I say, it's a great profession if you want to keep challenging yourself all the time.
Great. And what's one bold or unexpected move that has shaped your career? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, undoubtedly going to work in the US when I was
Okay.
21.
Oh, wow.
So when I was 21, although I'd done a law degree, I didn't necessarily get the grades that I wanted. So I got a 2-2 degree.
Okay.
And in the legal world, that is just sort of like you are the enfant terrible when you get a 2-2. So I thought my world was over. And by the May before I graduated, I had a sense that this was going to happen. So I started looking at alternative things to do.
Okay.
And I came across this organization called BUNAC, who organized work and travel for young people. And there was a visa called, what was it? The J1 visa, which helps you train in an area related to your field of study. So at the time, mine was law. And so I found an internship in the US, in Philadelphia, or just outside Philadelphia, actually, and worked there for 18 months as kind of like an intern paralegal kind of thing, basically.
Oh, wow.
So he was a lawyer who represented doctors, basically.
In lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah,
or
things
just,
like that. Yeah, so malpractice, things like that. So that was like the bulk of my work, which was very, very interesting. And then when I returned to London, I was just placed into US law firms in the city. And they had no clue that this was like a tiny provincial office on the corner of Philadelphia. It wasn't like a high-rise tower downtown Philadelphia or New York, which is what I had dreamed. But they just said, oh, you worked in the US, we'll put you in a US law firm. And so I started a bunch of US law firms as a paralegal in my 20s. And from there, I always knew I wanted a career in the city. And so I started in private client. Then I went into corporate and corporate finance as a paralegal. And then I ended up doing structured finance. And then after that, I decided I wanted to work in-house. And all this time, I was still trying to get qualified. I thought, let me go inside the house as a paralegal, get more hands-on experience. And that's where I ended up going to BP, and I was there for 5 years, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Oh, wow. That's remarkable. I love that. I wonder whether they still run that course.
I really do, because I think it's a fantastic initiative for young people.
Absolutely.
Particularly in your 20s when you don't really know what you want to do. And I mean, going to do that kind of helped cement my decision about working in law. And, I'm so glad I made that choice to go. I'm so glad that my parents supported me in that. They actually flew with me to America and they came for 2 weeks as a holiday, and they helped settle me in. They met my boss. We found where I was going to live. It was fantastic. And that opportunity just led to so many other things. I definitely would not have the career that I have today if it hadn't been for that opportunity.
Absolutely. And you were doing something so remarkable, so young as well.
Yeah.
Like moving, to a different country.
I just turned 21 and I didn't overthink it. I just packed my bags and I left.
Amazing. So obviously you're a senior in-house lawyer, but you're also a digital fashion creator. What inspired you to sort of step into the creative world?
I think it's been quite a gradual thing. And when I look back, I don't always appreciate it. But when I look back over the past probably 5 years, really, like many people in the pandemic, we were glued to our phones. And initially, I mean, I had a Facebook account and I would post there from time to time. I didn't really like having a presence on social media at the beginning. So I was very low key. I didn't get into Instagram until about 2020. I had a Facebook account. I'd post there occasionally. I didn't like showing photos of my face. I've never really liked being photographed. So I've been quite self-critical on that front. And so I'd write, my thoughts on Facebook from time to time about an event or an occasion. And it would go down quite well. And then I started a natural hair journey with my natural afro hair. And so I started documenting that on Instagram. And so that's on another account that I still have, actually. Rarely go into it now. But I started documenting things back then. And then very slowly with my personal Instagram account, I've probably had it since, 2014 or whatever, but never really used it. And then in 2020, I just started posting things very gradually, like the food I ate or my new kitchen or whatever. Very rarely my face. But when I posted my face, I would get so much more, interest and intrigue about that. But I think the crux of things really started was when we bought our house in Spain.
Ah,
And that happened in May 2022.
okay.
And I'll tell you, it's so beautiful that I wanted to document that.
Okay.
And also the fact that it was a whole adventure for me as, you know, a Black African woman going to live in Spain.
Yeah.
What life was like.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, you know, I don't spend all my time in Spain. I'm there for half the time because I work in London. And so I had to find something to talk about that was not just Spain.
Yeah.
And, you know, I dabbled with so many different things. And at the beginning, I was just kind of posting pictures of my outfits and sharing my thoughts on any random thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think what really came to the push in the end, when I really decided to start taking it seriously, was when I got ill about 6 months after we bought the house.
Okay.
So I got ill with an illness called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which is basically a neurological disorder. And it's a virus.
Yeah.
It started with shingles in my ear and led to an infection of my seventh cranial nerve. And that's the nerve. If you see science pictures, it's the nerves that affect your face.
Yeah.
These all got infected and resulted in the paralysis of my left-hand side of the face.
Oh, gosh.
And so I looked like maybe I'd had a stroke. So I couldn't do anything with the left side. I couldn't close my eye. I couldn't smile. I was drooling when I drank and ate. I couldn't raise my eyebrow. I couldn't raise my cheek. All of it was paralyzed. I was hospitalized for a good week. And I didn't know at the beginning whether or not I would make a full recovery. So in order to distract myself, I picked up my phone and I started to write. And that is literally how it started.
Wow.
And I found a random picture of myself and I posted it and I shared my thoughts on a topic. It wasn't anything related to my illness.
Yeah.
And from there, I just got into the habit of writing regularly, posting regularly. I didn't have a pattern or a habit, but I just made sure it was something that I just started to do. And I started to dabble with it. And yeah, from there, as I say, the rest is history. I discovered that actually I really enjoy writing about Korea and my experiences because, as my mother says, you have a story to tell, Nana. And I enjoy writing about things that have happened in my personal life, my personal development side of things. And I think those are probably the two core aspects of my content, which is how it's evolved into what it is now.
I'm so sorry you went through that, honestly. I saw the post, your post recently where you mentioned it. And, you know, that was the first time I heard about it. And I'm really sorry you went through that. But what I will say is that I think what makes you so different, you know, from other creators out there, apart from the fact that you have this powerful, you know, in-house legal career, is the fact that your captions aren't vapid. It has a very unique point of view. And I actually find myself reading it and, you know, getting, you know, nuggets of like wisdom from it, as opposed to here is just a nice photo of myself looking fabulous.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like there's a point of view.
Yeah, that's so kind. Thank you. No, it's important for me to show who I am. I think authenticity is really important.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. How do you sort of manage juggling both worlds? Because obviously they are incredibly different.
They are.
You have this, you know, legal position, senior position where I can imagine in-house, obviously, you know, so that lets you have, I guess, a little bit more personality at work, but still you have to, you know, present a certain way.
Absolutely.
Versus having this creative outlet where you can obviously have your own point of view and, you know, be as loud as you possibly can be.
Yeah.
How do you sort of marry both worlds together?
It's quite an interesting question. I think on terms of the logistical side of it, I do end up having to be quite organized.
Okay.
So when I'm in Spain, that is actually where a lot of the behind the scenes happens.
Okay, cool.
So I tend to do a lot of planning and strategizing there because I have the time. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
So I can plan my content, think about the themes that I want to talk about. And also in terms of the business side of it, because there is a business side of it now. Over the past year.
Yeah.
And so that's when I will sort of do the sort of like outreach to brands.
Okay.
You know, I do pitch.
Yeah.
I also get approached. You know, it's about both really. Following up with brands, thinking about things, people I want to approach. All of those sort of things in the background happen when I'm in Spain. When I'm in London, I'm very much on the go. So I barely even have the time to really think much about the strategy or the background. It's more about getting it out there.
Yeah.
And so although I will post 3 times a week or 4 times a week wherever I am, most of the homework has actually been done whilst I'm in Spain. And similarly, up until I would say about maybe 6 months ago, I would also shoot in Spain as well because the light is so good. But now, actually, at the moment, I tend to shoot a lot more in London.
Yeah.
So what tends to happen, the general split is sort of background strategizing, planning in Spain, shooting, posting in London. And I will post in Spain as well, as you see. But that's very much sort of the division of labor. And in terms of how my time is managed, 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or 9 to 8, I'm working, and that's that. If I have a lunch break and I'm eating something, maybe I'll answer some emails or whatever. That's related to content because it's personal.
Yeah.
But I try to maintain a very clear division between the two. Otherwise, my life, both mentally and physically, will go out of control. And I also want to give the best to both sets of clients. I want to be a good lawyer to the company that I work for. They've trusted me. So it's important that when I'm there, I devote myself 100%.
Of course.
And then when I'm outside of that, on the content side and to the business, I devote myself 100%.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much how I do it.
Love it. So organization.
I'm afraid so. And I'm not the most organized person, but there are some very clear boundaries that I set.
Okay, got it. And has working in fashion changed how people see you in law?
That's a very interesting question because certainly within the workplace, I don't talk about my content
okay.
at all.
Okay.
And I don't like to.
Okay.
So there are probably a few colleagues that I know follow me. Of the ones who I have seen try to follow me, like more the clients, I block them.
Okay.
Now, there probably are a bunch of other people possibly now who are following me, but I don't know about it.
Got it.
And I prefer it that way. Just quite simply because when I go to work, I'm Nana the lawyer.
Got it.
Full stop. And I don't want what I do outside of work to detract from everything that I've worked hard for to distract from my abilities at work.
Agreed.
And I remember walking into the office one day and there was a girl in our operations team and she saw me and I knew she was following me. And this was much, much earlier on, a few years ago. And she saw me. She was like, oh, Nana. And I was like, So that was a block.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
And the thing is, we're all quite pally at work. It's a very relaxed environment, but I just don't want that to detract from my abilities at work. And like I say, like my audience and everybody knows that it took me 16 years to qualify as a lawyer.
Yeah.
I am not prepared to jeopardize that because of what I do outside of work. And outside of work, I don't think what I do is anything particularly controversial.
No, not at all.
So, I just like to maintain a very clear distinct. I'm happy to talk about it if someone asks me, but I'm also not about to start broadcasting it either.
Of course.
It has gotten to a stage, however, where because of the giftings and, now I'm starting to be paid to do things, I've had to declare that.
Oh, yes, of course.
So I had a conversation with my manager actually a few weeks ago and said, look, this is the situation. I'm telling you because I don't want you to find out through somebody else.
Yes, yeah.
I declare everything to the tax man because I have to. Yeah. But like I say, I don't want you to find out through somebody else. Yeah. And his daughter works in fashion PR.
Oh, that's great.
So he has an idea of these kind of things. He's always Instagrammable when we go out for lunch, But it's important to me that, these things are managed carefully.
Absolutely. I think irrespective of whether you even went into content creation at all, if you had a personal Instagram, I think it's about just setting boundaries, you
Yes,
know.
it is.
You do have a life and you're entitled to a life
I
outside of
am,
work.
absolutely. And I
Yeah.
used to worry about that. I used to worry about it detracting from my sense of professionalism. But I am also quite considered about what I put out there. And I try to be as authentic as possible. But,
Of
I'm
course.
not going out and delving the most intimate details of my personal life.
No, that makes sense. What's one sort of common myth people have about in-house legal counsel?
I think the biggest one is that it's a walk in the park. It's not.
Agreed.
I think, one of the nicest things about working as in-house counsel is that actually you get to see, you kind of get a bird's eye overview of what is going on in the business. And so you get to see lots of different moving parts. And as a consequence, your work is quite varied. So you have to be used to dipping in and out of certain things. But over time, you acquire not just professional skills, but you also acquire institutional knowledge. And that's knowledge that cannot be bought, cannot be developed. It just comes through time and experience, really. And then I think the second myth depends on the industry and the sector, of course.
Okay.
I work in financial services, basically. But I think the other myth is that we are underpaid or not paid as well. I think in law firms, it's true. There is a chance of being paid higher. But again, it depends on the type of law firm. It depends on the type of industry. But I definitely would not go back to a law. I don't think I could ever go back to a law firm. I've never even worked as a lawyer in a law firm. And I certainly would not go back to a law firm for the money. I think you can also be paid quite well working in financial services if you go to the right place.
Agreed.
So I think those are two big myths I'd like to bust.
Nice. And how do you stay calm under pressure during high stakes negotiations?
That's a very good question. All your questions have been very good.
Oh, thank you.
I think for me, look, I worked in the city and in sort of like these sort of areas now for about 16 years. And so the numbers really, like whether it's 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, it doesn't really sort of resonate anymore, I think, the biggest motivation for me when making decisions and advising, and you do need to have an opinion as a lawyer actually, is very often, does the commercial opportunity justify the risk? Ultimately, that is always what it boils down to. As lawyers, we are always going to find things, and different lawyers will find different things. Different lawyers will have different approaches towards risk. But you've got to ask yourself, when you're talking to your trader or you're talking to your commercial person, they're going to be like, well, what do you think? And very often, the things I advise on, the risks might be relatively small, but if they materialize, they may be very far reaching. And so you've got to think about it on the balance of probabilities. Is this likely to happen? But if we stand to make about, 200 million over the next 3 years, is it worth walking away from that because of that small risk?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. I love that. And how do you sort of, what specific tools do you utilize to ensure that? Because I can imagine it's such a high pressured environment. The business is they want to go, go, go.
Yeah.
Then obviously you need to ensure that you're fulfilling your own responsibilities towards your firm and also even protecting the traders in question as well. So how do you sort of ensure that you're able to manage your stakeholders with their varying interests?
Yeah. I think, to be honest with you, is that relationships are very key here. And when I was at my last job, which was a major investment bank, I was encouraged to go and talk to my traders every week. And I did. And when I started this job 6 years ago, that's what I used to do. I don't do it so much now because the relationship is established. But the point here is that if you have a foundation of trust, you can go ahead and talk to them and say to them, look, I'm not sure if this is going to fly.
Yeah.
Or I think there are some risks here we need to think about.
Yeah.
And it's really important for me to do that because I always joke to them, but it's true. I never want to be seen as that bitch in legal who says no all the time. So it's really important to me to have a relationship where I'm approachable.
Yeah.
We'll spend half an hour talking about our holidays, our weekends, all those, because they matter. They do matter.
They do. Absolutely.
You know, and at the end of the day, you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
You know, it's a company, and yes, you know, we have our pressures and all those sorts of things, but it is about people. And I would always want my clients and my stakeholders to feel that they can come and talk to me too.
Okay.
If there's something that's worrying them, or even if they're starting a project or a piece of business, get your lawyer in early.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't bring us in at the last minute. Please don't. You know, it's not fair. And you'll be doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
But I think relationships are core to all those things. Okay. And I think if you have good relationships with people, you don't need to worry.
Okay. So people management and relationship management is the best way to go.
Everything.
Okay. So what's the best career advice you've ever received? And do you still live by it?
I've had a lot of career advice over the years, particularly from my father, who I'm very close to.
Nice.
And his advice to me has generally been work hard.
Okay.
Keep your head down.
Okay.
And your nose clean.
Oh, nice.
And I've done that for many, many years. But I think particularly over the past, I would say 15 years, I guess I've had a bit of an awakening. Particularly, I think you've also worked for a US investment bank.
Yeah.
And so you understand the sort of politics that are at play.
Yeah.
And there are so many unwritten rules that actually hard work is not necessarily what will get you there.
No.
Which is why I talk so much about relationships. And I think that brings me on to the second piece of advice, which I discovered, probably saw a few weeks ago, but probably cemented everything that I've been thinking about for years. And I would say that the advice is be easy to work with. Be easy to work with.
Agreed.
And I talk about this not just from the perspective as a lawyer in my professional job, but now also where the content side is turning into a business as well. Be easy to work with your clients. And it's not a hard one to get right. Be nice. Show up on time. You know, and I say that as someone who's chaotically late for everything. Show up on time. Deliver on time.
Yeah.
Or go above and beyond.
Yeah.
If they are difficult and very pernickety, just do it, you know. I think being easy to work with is one of the most underrated things. And particularly in so many environments where people are competing for the same opportunities or buying to get as much work as possible. Because there still is this conception that the person who does the most work is the one who's going to get promoted. I see it time and time and time again, and I still see it in my day-to-day. It is not what gets you ahead. It's your relationship with people. And so people are always surprised when someone gets promoted and it's that quiet guy in the corner. But you know why? Because he's easy to work with.
Yeah.
Because he has great relationships with people. Because he knows how to make people feel good. He knows how to make people feel supported, encouraged, trusted. He has them in their hands, you know. And it's not necessarily a strategy.
No.
It's just who he is.
I completely agree.
And there is so much that comes in leadership through that.
I completely and utterly agree. It's definitely something that I've seen play out, and it's something that I've heard as well from, you know, ex-colleagues and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually know she's become a friend now. She has a notebook, and she jots down things about people, just so that she remembers when she's having a conversation.
No, I think that's a great technique. I'd love to pick that up. I've got a notebook here, but I think it's great. Ask people if you can't remember their children's names. I mean, I often
just write it down.
Yeah, write it down, or sometimes I just ask, how are the children?
Yep.
How are they doing? How's the little one?
Yep.
He was a baby when I saw him.
Yeah,
he must be big now.
Yeah.
That means so much more to
It does.
people than talking about the transaction. ever will. You know, I always say be easy to work with. It's not hard to get right.
I agree. And what has been your proudest career moment so far?
I would definitely have to say that it would be qualifying as a lawyer
Okay.
after 16 years of trying. And I've documented my journey so much on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I would say that because law is not an easy profession to get into.
No, it
It's
isn't.
heavily oversubscribed. It was when I started 25 years ago. It still is. You've got the best minds, not just from the country, but from around the world, particularly in London, competing for what are relatively a handful of places. And, you know, certainly when I was going through the process as a law student and in my early 20s, there were definitely way more jobs than, way more students than there were jobs to fill.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'd look at my training contract handbook and see, like, at the best places, they'd only interview 5%, you know, and so that was tough. I know that was one of the reasons why it took me so long. I think there are a mixture of reasons, but being able to achieve something and then having to do it in a way that was not the most straightforward and was a way that I stumbled across through chance, felt very rewarding. You know, I qualified through something called equivalent means, where I document all my experience and I present it to the Solicitors Regulation Authority.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as a dossier. They then went through my files and had a professional solicitor go through every single of those 50 answers. It was like writing a thesis and all the evidence, 2 A4 lever arch folders of evidence. And they write a report on every single answer to determine whether or not I've met the criteria. And in the instances where I didn't meet the criteria, they sent me back to go and get more experience that I then had to document and resubmit to them.
Wow.
And that was done within a 6-month time frame. So I ended up having to get last-minute work experience. Thank you, Auntie Irene. Last-minute work experience on the contentious litigation side, which I took a 2-week holiday from work to do. And I resubmitted that at Christmas, and they had until January the 17th to make a decision. To the day on January 17th, they wrote to me and said, you've been exempted from a training contract.
Oh my gosh.
I can't tell you how much my heart was in my mouth. I'll never forget the day.
Oh, bless.
I discovered that after years and years and years in my 20s of applying for training contracts, applying for interviews, getting nowhere, and then going directly to the regulator for whom my experience was completely okay.
Wow, that's remarkable. That has to definitely mean something, I'm sure, more. More. Like if I was an employer, that would resonate higher.
I think unfortunately the legal profession has been quite not progressive, let me put it that way. And now they are modernizing. So now they are providing different routes to qualification. In response to the fact that it was very difficult for many people to get this 2-year training period. So I've heard, I'm not sure if it's true, but I've heard they're being phased out. But what's come in now is something called the Solicitor's Qualification Exam. And I think there are 2 parts, and you have to pass that and then have a number of years of qualifying experience. And then you're good to go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which will transform people's lives.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the thing, like having always been the bridesmaid and never the bride. You know, my life was transformed overnight by that letter that exempted me from a training contract because of all those hard years of work.
Wow.
And that probably means more to me than getting promoted a few years later or even having management responsibility as I do now. That will always be the thing that means so much to me.
Absolutely. Honestly, that's remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And the final question that I have is, how do you define success today? And how has that definition changed over time? How has it evolved?
Yeah, it definitely has evolved over time. So I would say that, you know, in my 20s, success was getting qualified. And then perhaps even into my mid-30s, success was still getting qualified. And then for a few years, I put down getting qualified and success was making VP. at the investment bank where I was working.
Yeah.
But I failed.
Yeah.
I failed twice to make VP. I
Yeah.
didn't make the VP round for 2 years running. And so success again then meant qualifying as a lawyer again.
Got it.
And I did that. So, my definition of success has changed so much. Also back then, when it came to money, success was a 6-figure salary.
Oh my God.
Now it's changed
Yeah.
so much. So now for me, success is a very balanced work and home life. Success to me is being able to leave at 6 p.m. and not feeling guilty about it, because I know that most lawyers, or many lawyers, still feel guilty about it. Success is about being recognized for what you're doing, both internally and externally. Success is about having very good relationships with people and being trusted. And then success in terms of compensation is being compensated fairly, and not worrying about money. I think that's what success is for me now.
Wow. That was, yeah, definitely. I can relate to every single thing that you said. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. One word that motivates you every morning.
Happiness.
Lovely. One word that grounds you.
Listen.
One word you're learning to embrace.
Change.
One word that reminds you of your childhood.
Security.
One word you want people to feel when they see you.
Happy.
One word you wish people felt more often.
Grateful.
One word that sums up your journey so far.
Unexpected.
One word, why is that?
So many levels. Has not turned out how I planned it to.
Okay.
When I was 18 or 19, I thought I would be married by 25 and have 2 kids.
Really?
Yeah, I really believe that's how life worked.
Okay.
And, I come from a very conventional family background.
Of course.
My parents are still married.
Okay.
My father's a doctor, my mum's a nurse. And so I just had this sort of very ABCD way of life. And very sheltered in a lot of ways. I mean, whatever hardships my parents experienced, I was shielded from. And, I grew up in some lovely environments. I went to private schools until I was 11 or 12, and then I went to a grammar school. And then I went to university, and actually going to uni in East London was really what opened my world. I went from having no black friends to having all black and Asian friends and no white friends, which is completely the flip of how it had been as I was growing up. And, for a black kid growing up in South London, that's not normal, the norm.
Yeah.
And, so I had this very sort of ABCD way of life. And I thought I'd just qualify as a lawyer and, but by the time I graduated, I knew that, okay, my career is going to be a bit of a struggle.
Okay.
And it was. I mean, for most of my career, I have spent time pushing and striving for something that I had the impression would be very straightforward to get. And, when you come from a family who is very ambitious and they have their own professional qualifications and they have that expectation of you, there's a level of pressure that comes with that, particularly as the eldest daughter. So, and I'm the only daughter as well, between my parents. So, there are all those levels of expectation. And so and I'm relatively type A in my personality as well. So, I just thought, it will happen like this and I'll meet someone. And I didn't meet someone either. I dated so much throughout my 20s and for most of my 30s as well. And there was a guy, actually, I wrote about this in a post a few weeks ago. There was a guy who I met that everyone loved.
Oh, yeah, I
except
saw
for
that.
me.
Yeah.
Everyone loved him.
Yeah.
He had the right job. He was from the right background. He was a wonderful guy, but I just did not feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I think that was quite an awakening, because I realized that maybe this is not how it goes, you know. And even when I had tried to date guys who fell into all those categories, it did not work out. And I ended up being single for about 15 years, actually, and dated a lot, you know. And I didn't meet my partner until I was about 38, 39.
Okay.
Just the summer as I was turning 39, I met him. So, you know, and even back then, that summer I met him, I had zero clue that, you know, my life would be as it is right now. You know, I had no idea we'd be living in two countries. I knew maybe a few months in that we were probably going to live together. And at the time, he was living in Ibiza.
Oh, wow.
So I knew that as he drove me around and we looked at the views from the mountains, I knew something needed to change.
Yeah.
But my life has been very unexpected. I thought I would have children. I don't have children.
Yeah.
I thought I would be married. I'm not married.
Yeah.
I thought I would have become a lawyer a long time ago.
Yeah.
That has not happened.
Yeah.
And now I live a life actually where I live between my own home as an adult in another country and in my parents' house in London.
Okay.
You know, I don't even live in my own property in London anymore.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
No. I rented out my flat.
Yeah.
So, you know, in a lot of ways, life has been very, not in a bad way, but definitely not in how I planned. I wouldn't change it for the world. I love my life. But it's definitely been unexpected. Yeah.
But it's really great though that you've been able to like pivot like seamlessly. I think a lot of people, whilst like things are like carved out and they know this is like the, you know, trajectory that they're on, they can't sort of deviate from that. So if something presents that is alternative, they reject that as opposed to embracing it. But the fact that you've been able to do that is like remarkable as well, in that way. You know, you obviously still ended up, you know, qualifying as a lawyer. So, and this is, please, you don't have to feel obliged answering this at all. Is marriage or like children, is that still on the cards for you? Or is that something that you don't necessarily feel that you have to do?
The latter,
Okay.
I think. The latter. I mean, the childhood one is, like for many people, deeply personal.
Okay, of course.
But I'm comfortable with talking about it now.
Okay.
I never used to be. I don't think we'll have kids. I don't think I'll be a mother in the sense of a biological mother.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons. But I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I think I've been on a long journey over that. And I think where I am with that is that I never realised it about myself is that I always expected to have children. And I think there's a difference between expecting and wanting. And, you know, I would like to have them. Don't get me wrong. I like children when they're well behaved. I like them.
Yeah.
I think we would make great parents.
Of course.
And I think I would make a very good mother.
Yeah.
But, you know, not everything is meant for you. We met relatively late in life. And, you know, we've talked about it at length. But, you know, I think for me as a woman, you know, leaving him out of it, for me as a woman, I'm very much on the fence. I've come to realise that I'm very much on the fence about this topic. And I think I could be happy with them. And I've discovered through years of being single and being able to create a life for herself, I'm also pretty happy without them.
Okay.
And I've managed to get myself comfortable with that over the past few years. So children, probably not, but who knows, you know.
You never know what the
mother
future.
My mother is ever hopeful. And my dad, even my dad the other day was like, well, you never know. And I don't think, but, you know, you never know. And I think if children ended up in our life as parents, I think we'd embrace that and we'd make it work. And in terms of marriage, I think that I don't have strong views on marriage anymore. And I think probably because I you know, maybe it's age and experience. I think nothing lasts forever.
Agreed.
That's the first thing. Second of all, like I say, I had a very long journey being single. I was 16 for 16 years. I dated someone for a year in that time. And he turns out he wasn't ready for the relationship. Great guy, wasn't ready. But I was single for a long, long, long time. And in that time, I worked on my career. I bought property, bought another property. You know, I had lots of holidays. I've had a lot of fun. I've focused on myself. I've developed myself as a person. And I've created a life for myself that I'm very happy with. So if I meet somebody, I got to the stage by the time I was 38 where if I met somebody, they would be there to complement my life.
Yeah.
But not to complete it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And when I met him, actually, I was about 6 months following a terrible relationship that had come out. The relationship wasn't terrible, but the come down was terrible.
Yeah.
And so I'd had to work on building myself up again. And I was doing that by, at the time, going to yoga a lot and buying myself flowers and surrounding myself with the things I like, working on projects that I wanted to invest in and all those sorts of things. By the time I met him, I was happy. And that radiated. And I definitely think that's one of the reasons for how we got together. I'm so happy to be here and I'm on holiday and you know, it's great. And I just submitted my lawyer application as well. So I felt very free. And so I think that because I've been able to fill my life with so many things, I don't think those are the things that will make me anymore. And, you know, if we get married, then great, all well and good, but it's definitely not my biggest achievement in life.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Oh, sorry, Mary, for that sound. What is one word to leave us with today?
It's hard. I have two. One word to leave you with. Yes.
Expand.
I want to say yes or say yes.
Okay.
Or go forth was really what came to mind.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's really what I wanted to say is...
we can hyphenate that so it's more technically...
I mean, you know, I think a lot of things have come to me, not just professionally, but also personally, is because I chose to go for it.
Yeah.
You know, when I started as a content creator, you know, I'd come back to London to renovate the flat and then move everything to Spain. And I was explaining my endeavours to my brother, who is extremely supportive. And he said, this is great, but you need to have the right equipment. I didn't have the right equipment. I had an iPhone 8 Plus.
Yeah.
I didn't take his advice. I started with my iPhone 8 Plus. And all those years of practice have led to me to what I do now. And now I do use a professional photographer.
Yeah.
But that was an evolution. And I wouldn't have got there had I not started.
Yeah.
And got all those years of practice and failing. And I still fail all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But my point is start. Do it, you know. And if I'd waited, you know, where are you? I mean, you've got to start.
I love that. Thank you so much.